the one and only Ivan. Hello, I am Ivan. I am a gorilla. It's not as easy as it looks. Names. People call me the freeway gorilla, the ape at exit 8, the one and only Ivan, mighty silverback. The names are mine, but they are not me. I am Ivan. Just Ivan. Only Ivan. Humans waste words. They toss them like banana peels and leave them to rot. Everyone knows the peels are the best part. I suppose you think gorillas can't understand you. Of course, you also probably think we can't walk upright. Try knuckle walking for an hour. You tell me which way is more fun. Patience. I have learned to understand human words over the years, but understanding human speech is not the same as understanding humans. Humans speak too much. They chatter like chimps, crowding the world with their noise even when they have nothing to say. It took me some time to recognize that all those human sounds to weave words into things, but I was patient. Patient is a useful way to be when you're an ape. Gorillas are as patient as stones. Humans, not so much. How I look. I used to be a wild gorilla. I still look the part. I have a gorilla's shy gaze, a gorilla's sly smile. I wear a snowy saddle of fur, the uniform of a silverback. When the sun warms my back, I cast a gorilla's majestic shadow. In my size, humans see a test of themselves. They hear fighting words on the wind, when all I'm thinking is how the late day sun reminds me of a ripe nectarine. I'm mightier than any human. 400 pounds of pure power. My body looks made for battle. My arms outstretched span taller than the tallest human. My family tree spreads wide as well. I am a great ape. And you are a great ape. And so are chimpanzees, and orangutans, and bonobos, and all the distant, distrustful cousins. I know this is troubling. I, too, find it hard to believe that there is any connection across time and space, linking me to a race of ill-mannered clowns. Chimps. There's no excuse for them. The Exit 8 Top Mall and Video Arcade. I live in a human habitat called the Exit 8 Big Top Mall and Video Arcade. We are conveniently located off I-95, with shows at 2, 4, and 7, 365 days a year. Mac says that when he answers the trilling telephone. Mac works here at the mall. He is the boss. I work here too. I am the gorilla. At the Big Top Mall, a creaky music carousel spins all day, and the monkeys and parrots live amid the merchants. In the middle of the mall, a ring of benches are there for humans can sit on their rumps while they eat soft pretzels. The floor is covered with sawdust made from dead trees. My domain is the one at the end of the ring. I live there because I'm too much gorilla and not enough human. Stella's domain is next to mine. Stella is an elephant. She and Bob, who is a dog, are my dearest friends. At present, I do not have any gorilla friends. My domain is made of thick glass, rusty metal, and rough cement. Stella's domain is made of metal bars. The sun bear's domain is wood, and the parrot's is wire mesh. 3 of my walls are glass. One of them is cracked, and a small piece about the size of my hand is missing from the bottom corner. I made that hole with a baseball bat Matt gave me for my 6th birthday. After that, he took it away. But he let me keep the baseball that came with it. A jungle scene is painted on one of my domain walls. It was a waterfall without water and flowers, without scent, without tree roots. I didn't paint it, but I enjoy the way the shape flows across my wall, even if it isn't much of a jungle. I am lucky my domain has 3 windowed walls. I can see the whole mall and a bit of the world beyond. The frantic pinball machines, the pink billows of cotton candy, the vast and treeless parking lot. Beyond the lot is a freeway where the cars stampede without end. A giant is at the end, at the edge, beckons them to stop, like the gazelles at the watering hole. The sign faded, the colors bleeding, but I know what it says. Mac reads the words out loud every day. Come to the Exodate Big Top Mall and Video Arcade, home of the one and only Ivan, the mighty silverback. Sadly, I cannot read, although I wish I could. Reading stories would make a fine way to fill my empty hours. Once, however, I was able to enjoy a book left in my domain, but by one of my keepers. It tasted like termite. The freeway billboard has a drawing of Mac in his clown clothes and Stella in her hind legs, and an angry animal with fierce eyes and unkempt hair. That animal is supposed to be me, but the artist made a mistake. I'm never angry. Anger is precious. A silverback uses anger to maintain order and to warn his troops of danger. When my father beat his chest, it was to say, beware, listen, I am in charge. I am angry to protect you, because that is what I was born to do. Here in my domain, there's nobody to protect. The littlest big top on earth. My neighbors here at the Big Top Mall know many tricks. They all are an educated lot, more accomplished than I am. One of the neighbors plays baseball, although she's a chicken. Another drives a fire truck, although he's a rabbit. I used to have a neighbor, a sleek, thoughtful seal, who could balance a ball on the top of her nose. From dawn till dusk, her voice was like a throaty bark of a dog chained outside on a cold night. Children wished on pennies and tossed them into her plastic pool. They glowed at the bottom of the flat copper stones. The seal was hungry one day, or bored. Perhaps both. So she ate 100 pennies. Mac said she would be fine. He was mistaken. Mac calls our show the littlest big top on earth. Every day, 2, 4, 7, humans fan themselves, drinking sodas, applaud, babies wail. Mac, dressed like a clown, pedals a tiny bike. A dog named Snickers rides on Stella's back. Stella sits on a stool. It is a very sturdy stool. I do not do any tricks. Mac says it's enough for me just to be me. Stella told me that some circuses move from town to town. They have humans who dangle on ropes and twining from the top of tents. They have gumbling lions with gleaming teeth and snaking line of elephants, each clutching the limp tail in front of them. The elephants look so far off in the distance so they won't see the humans who want to see them. Our circus doesn't migrate. We stay where we are, like an old beast too tired to push on. After our show, humans will forage through the stores. A store is where humans buy things they need to survive. At the Big Top Mall, some stores sell new things, like balloons and t-shirts and caps to cover gleaming heads of the humans. Some stores sell old things, like the smell of dusty, damp, and long forgotten. All day I watch humans scurry from store to store. They pass their green paper, dry as old leaves, and smelling of 1,000 hands, back and forth and back and forth. They hunt frantically, stalking, pushing, grumbling, and they leave clutching bags filled with things, bright things, soft things, big things. But no matter how full the bags, they always come back for more. Humans are clever indeed. They spin pink clouds and then they can eat. They build domains with flat waterfalls, but they are lousy hunters. Some animals live privately, unwatched, but that is not my life. My life is flashing lights, pointing fingers, uninvited visitors, inches away. Humans flatten their little hand against the wall and glass that separates us. The glass says you are this and we are that, and that is how it will always be. Humans leave their fingerprints behind, sticky with candy, slick with sweat. Each night, a wary man comes and wipes them away. Sometimes I press my nose against the glass. My nose print is like your fingerprint. It's the first and last and the only one. The man wipes the glass and then I am gone. Artists. Here in my domain, I do not have much to do. You can only throw so many me-balls at humans before you get bored. A me-ball is made of rolling up dung I use until it's the size of a small apple, and I let it dry. I always keep it a few on hand. For some reason, my visitors never seem to carry any. My domain, I have a tire swing, a baseball, a tiny plastic pool filled with dirty water, and even an old TV. I have a stuffed toy gorilla, too. Julia, the daughter of the weary man who cleans the mall each night, gave it to me. The gorilla has empty eyes and floppy limbs. But I sleep with him every night. I call it Not Tag. Tag was my twin sister's name. Julia is 10 years old. She has hair like black glass and wide half-moon smile. She and I have a lot in common. We are both great apes. We are both artists. It was Julia who gave me my first crayon, a stubby blue one, slipped it through the broken spot of the glass along the fold with a piece of paper. And I knew what to do with it. I'd watched Julia draw. Then I dragged the crayon across the paper and it left a trail in its wake like a slithering blue snake. Julia's drawings were wild with color and movement. She drew things that aren't real, clouds and smiles on cars that can swim. She draws until her crayon breaks and her paper rips. Her pictures are like pieces of a dream. I can't draw dreamy pictures. I never remember my dreams, although I sometimes awaken with my fists clenched and my heart hammering. My drawings seem pale and timid next to Julia's. She draws the ideas in her head. I draw the things in my cage. Simple items that fill my days. An apple core, a banana peel, a candy wrapper. I often eat my subjects before I draw them. But even though I draw the same things over and over, I never get bored with my art. When I'm drawing, that's all I can think about. I don't think about where I am, about yesterday, or tomorrow. I just move my crayons across the paper. Humans don't always seem to recognize that I've drawn. They squint, cock their heads, murmur. I'll draw a banana, a perfectly lovely banana, and they'll say, "It's a yellow airplane," or "It's a duck without wings." That's right. I'm not drawing for them. I'm drawing for me. Max soon realized that people will pay for a picture made by a gorilla, even if they don't know what it is. Now I draw every day. My work sells for $20 a piece, $25 with a frame, at the gift shop near my domain. If I get tired and I need a break, I just eat my crayons. Shapes in the clouds. I think I've always been an artist. Even as a baby, still clinging with my mother, I had an artist's eye. I saw shapes in the clouds and sculptures in the tumbled stones at the bottom of the stream. I grabbed at colors, crimson flower, just out of reach, the ebony bird streaking past. I don't remember much of my early life, but I do remember this. Whenever I got a chance, I would dip my finger into the cool mud and use my mother's back for a canvas. She was a patient soul, my mother. Imagination. Someday I hope I can draw the way Julia draws. Imagining a world that doesn't yet exist. I know what most humans think. They think gorillas don't have imaginations. They think we don't remember our past or ponder our futures. Come to think of it, I suppose they have a point. Mostly I think about what is, not what could be. I've learned not to get my hopes up.